For those that have been following the Billy Bow, aka Firefly Solstice saga, when we last met, we got the frets leveled, and I kid you not, and no exaggeration here, every single fret was wonky. Like every single fret. Maybe one or two weren't, but this is not a normal thing. Um, and so I spent a few hours yesterday just getting them level and recrowned, which is where we last left off. And so today, because I do have a ton of stuff to do, but this is still sitting on my bench and it's just kind of ready. I haven't even finished my cup of coffee yet, but here I am, ready to start sanding and polishing these frets out just to get this thing moved on to the next step. I also noticed that the bridge put a dent in the top of the body, so there's one more issue. I guess the post has pushed through the bottom of the wood and has put a nice little dent. I guess it's a nice, it's a finder hole. It'll be easy to find the spot where this belongs. But yeah, that's also not terrific. But anyway, it'll be hidden. So I'm, in it. Yeah. Yeah. So this, to answer the question from above, this is a brand called Firefly. The guitars are made in China. Hey, Aunt Mods. Yeah, I think they do. But yeah, so they're not super thick, but it has a shoulder to it. But I think they've got a few neck carves. They're also small enough to where you can call, or they were anyway. I don't know what they're doing these days, but you could always call and talk to them, get something special made from them. But yeah, I mean that Taiwan used a bit. I mean, that seems to be the flow. This Japan to Korea, then to sort of Taiwan, Indonesia, and then finally China seems to be the flow of the import lines. Oh, the Indonesian guitars have gotten really good. A lot of the stuff of from LTD and Schecter have been really good. I don't Yamaha just as good at making stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen too much of their stuff from China. Um, even the Chinese stuff is getting better. This one, however, not great. This has not been a very good experience for me, but we're getting there. Me too. Did you see the crack in the fretboard? Rage. Did you get to see that? Oh yeah. Yeah. So it runs like right about here, and I guess at the factory they thought they just rubbed some wood glue into it, and then that was good enough. I didn't notice till I took the strings off and started looking at it a little closer, and then I'm too deep into this thing to send it back now. It's how I feel about it at the moment. Also, if I send it back, they're gonna send it to somebody else, right? They're not going to just say, "Oh, that one needs to be taken out of the rotation," and we don't, So somebody else will just end up with it. So I'm going to play Captain Save a Guitar, and since I fixed everything else, I'll fix that too. I'm going to be a little grumpy about it, but I'll but I'll do it. Anyway. Yeah, there's a pic in the Discord Jimmy put up. You can see it. It's pretty obvious what it is, and I'll be sending video and whatnot to them, and we'll see. Maybe they'll be kind enough to give me a partial refund or something. My hopes are pretty low, honestly. Um, I hope to report back with some good news, but honestly, my expectations of how they'll handle it are pretty low, and honestly, they'll probably should have sent it back right off the bat, but at this point, you know, I'm going to keep it so that no one else has to deal with it, actually. And I'm being serious about that. Like, I'm literally going to keep this so that they don't send it to some other poor schlub. I'll take this one on the chin so that somebody else doesn't have to. And I'll fix it. But highly unimpressed. How this thing got through QC should have never left the factory. And the fact that they thought that just rubbing some wood glue into a cracked fretboard and sending it off was an acceptable thing to do. Like, to me, that says a lot about the whole company. Or maybe not the company. It says a lot about the manufacturer, who they keep secret, I guess. It's on the bench inside the Discord. Oh, you found it? Okay. All right, Pandy. Be safe, brother. Have fun. I'll talk to you later, my friend. So yeah, and then the frets. Every single fret was. I mean, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, every single fret was wonky on this thing. So I spent a couple hours yesterday leveling these things, and of course then the neck pickup was wired poorly, so it wasn't working out of the box. Yeah, this thing has been a total mess. Absolute mess. Well, to be fair, one, the Japanese imports in many cases are as good or nicer than guitars made here. So there's that. The Korean made guitars have gotten really, really good across the board, and build quality is quite good. Chinese really hit or miss, obviously. Miss on this one. But support your local guitar maker. Buy American if you can, if and when. It's good for the economy. It's good for your local builder. It's good for you. It'll make you feel good. And you'll get a fantastic guitar. But I'm not going to judge the whole industry on one guitar. This is not a very good. Well, okay, let's look at the pluses. The finish on it is really good. The neck shape I like a lot. There is a couple imperfections in the paint itself, but by and large, it looks really good. But I would actually prefer I would rather have a defect in the paint or something like that, and then have the frets be good. You know, like let's let's just get the basics right. You know, it's sort of lipstick on a pig type of thing. It looks great, but anyway. It will be a little workhorse for my Filtertrons once I get it together. At some point, I'm for sure going to refret this thing. So there's that too. Yeah, refretboard. I can fix the fretboard. It's not great, but I can fix it. I'd prefer not to have to fix it, obviously, but it will be a fun little guitar to test Filtertron style pickups in. And that's why I bought this thing. So it certainly isn't instilling a whole bunch of joy in me when I think of this brand at this point. But I haven't, on all three of the Chinese guitars I've purchased, or shall we say, sort of this low end price range, I've had issues. And it almost seems personal at this point. Because I know other people have gotten good ones. It's almost like they know that they're sending it to somebody who fixes stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just send him the crappy one. He can fix it." It's the universe, I guess. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but it seems to be my role. I'll take it. We'll make it right. Well, so now on the plus side of all of this, at least it will allow me to share some repairs that you don't see all that often. Ones that you shouldn't ever find on a brand new guitar. That's a whole nother thing. But at some point, we'll refret it because of all the wonderful things he does. But yeah, and I'm not sure how much I'll work on this crack until I refret it, because it seems like the proper time to get in and be able to really repair it is when the frets are out. But I'll inspect it more, and I'll try to do as much of these repairs on stream as possible, so that we can share the experience, as painful as it might be. Maybe we can learn something together over it. Right? We'll turn it into a learning experience. And that will be good. See, we're gonna take a negative and turn it into a positive. I'll be real interested to see how they respond. That's something I am curious about. How will they handle it? I'm going to, just like when I bought the guitar, I'm going to keep my expectations super low. So if I get a letter that just says, "Too bad, so sad," I won't be surprised. Well, no. No, I bought it straight from them. But I will be happy to direct them. I was considering actually downloading these videos and doing some, cutting them up and stuff and making it available. It could also, just make a little combo of them and throw it on YouTube and stuff. And I'm not trying to beat them up really as much as I am just super disappointed and feel a bit ripped off, honestly. Like I just, you know, I feel a bit ripped. I would never sell something like this to somebody. Oh yeah, guitars in general, you have some issues. A little bit of fret work is always. I don't care if it's a $5 guitar or a $5,000 guitar. It's probably going to need a little fret work. This is way past that, though, Hayes. This is a cracked fretboard, a dead pickup, frets that are an absolute mess, dent in the body. You know, I don't care what price range it is. When you start having that many issues with one guitar, you've lost me. Pretty much, pretty much medic how I feel about it too. They're just like, yeah, you get what you pay for, son. And it's a bit of a crapshoot. I mean, even with the IYV, you had really good luck with yours. I did not have very good luck with mine. And after I put some work into it, I have fun playing it. It's a good little guitar. It's not as good as my nicer guitars, but it's a good little guitar. It's fun. Not always the easiest thing to do, but caring matters. I always feel like it'd be really hard to do this job if you just didn't care. Like, and I know that happens, but, and I kind of joke with people about it, but it is kind of true that if you didn't really love doing this job, because it's not like you're going to become a millionaire doing this job or anything, right? That's a lot of work, and long hours, all that fun stuff, and so you got to kind of love it to do it. And if you don't, then man, seems like it would be torture. I happen to love it, so you know, it's all super enjoyable to me. But even the terrible days are usually better than the alternative, I guess. Even if it's a terrible day, you're still working on guitars. And if you love doing that, then it's good. Yeah, just being straight up and honest, you know, being above board. It's good quality for sure. Sometimes it confuses people at first because they're so not used to it. My dearest Firefly, I hope this letter finds you well. Like Dano and I were chatting about yesterday, I've never seen a guitar come out of the box perfect. Never. Not a $10,000 custom shop Gibson or Paul Reed Smith. Not a $200 Firefly. They always need something. Some need much less than others, but they always need something. They're never perfect. Never. And that's not me being just a tech, that's just the truth. And I used to get a ton of guitars, all super high end, from my buddy Steve, who had a local shop here. He moved down south, so I don't see him much anymore. But I mean, custom shop, Fender, Paul Reed Smith, Gibson, you name it. He would bring me stuff all the time that was fresh out of the box that just wasn't very good, and he'd allow it. Like if it wasn't awful, he'd be okay with it. But every once in a while, I'd get one in that was just really, really bad and needed some love, and he would bring those in and have me dial them in. Or he'd have a customer that wanted a pickup swap before they shipped it out, and he'd bring it in for me to do that and stuff. But it doesn't really matter what the price of the guitar is. It's still just a piece of wood and metal, and it's going to be affected by the environment, and changes and movements and expansions and contractions and all that stuff takes its toll. Changes in temperatures and humidity and all that, it just takes its toll. So it's just not surprising. Like when I hear these guys reviewing guitars and they're upset that it didn't come out of the box perfect, I'm just like, who told you that was a thing? That's not a thing. It just isn't a thing. I'm sorry. It would be wonderful if it was a thing. I would love that. It would make my life a hell of a lot easier. It's just not a thing. Hey, what up, Gets? Yeah, I know, right? It's super weird and funky. It's a Billy Bow, which is something that was made for Bo Diddley back in the 50s, who famously just played a box-shaped guitar, too. So it's total, like, 50s car fin thing going on. And then he gave it to Billy Gibbons, I think in 59 or something. And then Billy Gibbons went on to play it, and then Gretsch reissued it. And when they reissued it, they called it the Billy Bow to honor both the people who kind of were involved with the guitar and its history. And then this is a copy of that guitar from a Chinese made company called Firefly. What you can't really see is yeah, well, I'd have other, but it's a nice metallic green. Yeah, I'd have a lot less work. That's for sure. Yeah, very divisive. A lot of people hate it. I love it. I've always loved it. Ooh, the original ones were chambered actually, which is why it has the floating bridge. I'm not sure if this one is or not, but I think I clocked it in at a little over 8 pounds. It's bigger than it seems. It's kind of like a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster in that it doesn't seem that big, but it's a lot of mass. And yeah, it's not a lightweight. So the frets were horrendously out of level, and so as I was working and leveling, I put some marks on to mark where the high spots. So 2 marks on the side there, that was a high end, that was a high end. These 2 parts in the middle were real tall, so I marked them. And then just as I track and go along and finding the high spots to remind me, because you think you'll remember where stuff is, and then as soon as you look away, then you come back, it's just all green and all, and then but by putting a mark around it, I can remind myself where the spots are that I need to pay attention to. I spent a very long time, I don't know, 3 hours or something yesterday doing a job that usually takes me about 20 minutes. So yeah, this thing's just awful. See, if you look at that line right there, you can see that's a crack. That's a crack that they rubbed some wood glue in and called it good enough. Yeah, so this light colored line that you see going through here is a crack that they've decided in their infinite wisdom to rub some wood glue in, because that'll fix it. Yeah, so hopefully the end result will be we'll have some fun with it. I'll get to use it to test out some Filtertron pups, and that's the whole idea. That's why I got it. So I'm trying to be cup half full guy, glass half full guy. Um, but yeah, as far as revisiting this, well, we'll see. I'm gonna reserve judgment until after I see how they handle it.